Hi there. Let's talk for a second about accredited courses. People interested in studying often start off by asking, is the course accredited? Is the college accredited? And sometimes it feels like you're running into a huge amount of information when really you need a yes or no answer. So let me start off by saying that the majority of education, the majority of training that happens in South Africa are actually what are known as short courses, and short courses are usually not accredited. So please don't think that the fact that a course is not accredited means it's not good. It really depends on what you need from that qualification. Sometimes you need a short course in project management. You're going to do a 3-month course. It's not going to be accredited, but you're going to pick up the skills you need, and it's going to give you the skills you need in the workplace to be better at the job, to have a better CV. So certainly your non-accredited courses, your short courses has their place. When we look at accredited courses, of course, you've got to ask 2 questions. Is the institution, the college, the training provider, are they accredited for those programs? And then secondly, you also look at the program itself. So in a sense, often you find that there's 2 sets of accreditations. Is the college accredited, A, and B, is it accredited for that specific program? Accredited courses that we offer, I always start with the Institute of Certified Bookkeeper programs because they relate to scarce skills, because they're practical, because you can enter into those programs with a grade 10 or a grade 11. So it's really a good way to get yourself a proper accredited set of certificates ending with a diploma, especially for people who don't have matric. So certainly, if we talk about accredited courses, I'd start by looking at ICB. And then secondly, of course, those NATED programs. You write your exam with Department of Education, the college is accredited by the QCTO, and you end up getting a certificate from Department of Education. And really that's a great test. You want to know whether there's sufficient accreditation in place. The question you ask is, who's going to hand me my certificate and whose stamp will be on that certificate? A matric certificate from Umalusi with the Umalusi stamp on, that's how real it gets. That's the highest level of recognition. And I'd say the same for Department of Education or for the QCTO. You get a qualification, you get a certificate or a diploma, and you get it from Department of Education or you get it from QCTO, and you know that's your evidence, that's your proof that you have the highest level of accreditation. I spoke about the ICB programs. Of course, then there are the NATED programs. NATED programs, you need matric to enter. Then you do your N4 level. You do 4 subjects at N4 level. If you pass them, you get a certificate from Department of Education. Then you do your N5 level. At the end of that, you get another certificate. You do your N6 level. You get your certificate. Then you need 18 months of practical work that's recorded in a logbook. You submit that to us, we submit that to Department of Education, and at the end of that process, they actually issue you with a national diploma, which is as fancy as it gets short of getting a degree. I always say a national diploma, in my mind, is 1 step lower than a degree, and certainly much more work-orientated. The subjects are more work-orientated. You can see there's 18 months of practical work in there, so the thinking right through is, am I learning something I can use in a job? Am I being prepared for the world of work? Which is why I love the NATED programs. Of course, also because they can be offered via distance learning. So if you're already working, you can study after work, you can study evenings, you're studying on the weekend, but you can be improving your qualification while you are in your job. And you can be picking up the practical experience needed for that diploma in the job you are, or in the workplace where you're already working. Okay, lastly, what kind of programs are we looking at if we talk about accredited programs, NATED programs? Business management, financial management, educare, human resources management, legal secretary, marketing management, and management assistant. So you can see there's a wide range of programs, job-related, career-related, where you can study on your own, we study via distance learning, and end up with a real qualification that's accredited at the end of the process. Any questions about accreditation, please feel free to ask. I try to keep it as simple as I can. Accreditation often becomes really involved just because there are so many different accrediting bodies in South Africa. Please leave me a note. Thank you.